Hey guys, Nick Halden here, aka DVD Collector 96, and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. Okay guys, so welcome to a new streaming and chill vlog, and also welcome to a new movie review video. Today we'll be enjoying together the movie The Lost Boss that just made their way to Apple TV Plus. I think is the name of that service. Guys, when I went to see The Roses at CMX, which the vlog should also be already available on the channel, one of the preview trailers that I saw was for this movie, and I immediately recognized Matthew McConaughey and American Ferrera. So I was like, two of my favorite actors. I definitely going to be watching this movie. I decided once I came back home to just add it to the calendar, and for my surprise, it was going to have a limited release on movie theaters. Now I checked my local movie theaters, and the closest ones to me that was having a premiere was like 25 miles away. The schedule wasn't good for me because I work Monday to Fridays, and I was like, the difference is just going to be a few days, so just wait for this specific movie to hit streaming platforms, and then you're going to be able to enjoy it. Now, I have been trying to avoid spoilers, but this is going to be a fun weekend for me because I plan to watch lots of TV shows and probably lots of movies, this one being one of them. Literally super excited because the only thing that I have read was a quote says like, speed meets like drama, like something like that, and just for the movie to be compared to Speed, that's it. I mean, and I also love that it's based on real events. I love, even when there is tragedies like this, I love when a movie is done because it's just for a way for you to see how survivors and things like that went through a time like this, because they're usually try to get real life stories. So I'm just excited to watch this movie. When this news broke down, I honestly don't remember seeing a lot of things, and LA has a lot of fires through the years. Sadly, we had recently a super devastating one, and it's the way of life sometimes. I have been to LA before, and it's a beautiful city that I love. So I'm excited to be watching this story through the lens of these amazing actors. Now, I printed my little sheet of information right here, The Lost Boss. The banner has both of the actors, because for what the trailer shows, it's that a guy, Matthew McConaughey, goes to a school to pick up some kids to save them from the fires, and in the meantime, he's trying to get to his son that is staying with his grandma, and the house of the grandma is like totally on fire. There is a lot of emotions. The poster doesn't reveal a lot, just the boss going through the fires. And again, super excited of seeing these two actors on this situation. I haven't even checked how long the movie is, and again, been trying to avoid spoilers as much as I could. But The Lost Boss is a 2025 American survival drama film directed by Paul Greengrass, who co-wrote the screenplay with Brad Ingelsby. It is based on the non-fiction 2021 book Paradise One Town Struggle to Survive an American Wildfire by Lizzie Johnson about the 2018 Camp Fire. It stars Matthew McConaughey, American Ferrera, Yul Vazquez, and Ashlie Atkinson. It had its world premiere at the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival on September 5, which was followed by a limited theatrical release in the United States on September 19 and its global premiere on Apple TV Plus on October 3rd. The film received general positive reviews, but what is the film about? A bus driver has to navigate a bus carrying children and their teacher to safety to the 2018 Camp Fire, which became the deadliest fire in California history. So yeah, that's the premieres, the premise of the movie. Again, super excited for tonight's movie night. And the vlog dynamic is going to be the same. I will show you guys maybe a quick clip of the movie, and after I'm done watching it, I will be back here to leave you guys all my opinions after I watch the movie. Basically the movie review. If I love it or if I hate it, I try to be as honest as I can so you guys can believe the words that I say. But again, We all have movies that we love, we all have movies that we hate. This will only be my opinion, but if this is something that interested you, just stay until the end. And for now, I would love to know in the comments if you guys have already seen this movie, what do you think about it? So, stay tuned. Okay guys, so weekend plans can change. So when I recorded the intro for this video, the plan was to watch The Lost Boss last Friday, but then I was a little bit tired, so I went to bed early. Then on Saturday I was like, okay, let's watch it now. My mom came over, we started doing more things, and then Sunday was finally the day I just saw the movie early morning. It's a 2 hours and 5 minutes movie if I remember correctly, but you don't feel it's a long movie because it continues moving at a really good pace. Guys, Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera. One of the spoilers that I did get about the movie was that America Ferrera character was being kind of annoying. I didn't get this feeling at all through the movie. And I love to see these two actors together sharing the big screen. I have seen so many Matthew McConaughey movies to the point that it's one of my favorite actors. And America Ferrera, I didn't grow up with her as Ugly Betty, but I saw her at Superstore and she catch my feelings. I love her on every single character that I see her playing. And then she was the famous Human Life Barbie. And the scenes that she say on that movie. But anyways guys, The Lost Boss is based on the fires on Paradise on California on 2018 if I remember correctly. Starting off the point that this movie is based on a real life story, but you can read now and check interviews online. There is a lot of things that doesn't match exactly what ended up happening to make it of the purpose of like a Hollywood premise movie. It literally felt like Speed. It felt like Speed, taking out a romantic relationship between both of the characters, and they make it work super good. So we start with a movie where Matthew McConaughey is driving in a school bus. He's asking for overtime. His life it's like struggling. He's taking care of his mom, which is an elderly woman, and then his son is with him for a few days because he got divorced. He grew up in Pasadena, California, but then he left town. He then came back. He doesn't have a great relationship with his son, but what ended up happening is that the next day he's doing his day as normal. So he gets a call from the station of the bus and tell them that he needs to go back to make maintenance on the bus or something like it. Now life's getting in the way. The mom calls him and starts telling him that his son is getting super sick. So he still gets called that he needs to be on the bus station so they can get it into maintenance, but he keeps getting every single scene delay. Now in the other side of events, because of an electric cable, fires start to happen, and the fire is spreading super fast because California has been like 26 days that it hasn't rained, and they have super desert winds. So they told here in Florida is FPL, but they talked to the electric companies to tell them to cut the power, and they didn't listen to them. So now they're dealing with a huge fire. So while the movie continues to happen, we do have the fire department doing every single scene that they can and kind of investigating the fire and what's going on. But then he has an empty bus. He's able to go get Tylenol, but then he gets a call because the fires are now a little worse, and a few students where America Ferrera is the teacher, they need to be picked up so they can get to their parents' safety. So he gets to the school. One of the things that we're going to realize is that these are little kids. So America Ferrera character is supposed to be like, kids, let's be calm, please form a line, and he gets annoying because he needs to rush, he needs to get out of there quickly, but she's just trying to get the kids to be calm, which is the worst thing that can happen to them in that bus, is for all the kids to melt down or something like that. So they're able to get all the kids in the bus, and he makes the teacher to go into the bus. Now this was real life events. It was the driver, the teacher, and there was a third teacher that doesn't make it into the movie. But anyways, they're able to go. It's called basically the Lost Boss because the base basically is able to contact him to check with him and see that he's able to pick up the kids, but then they lose communications and they're not able to speak. They were trying to tell him not to go to the safe point and go to a different point because the point was burning down, and that's the tension of the movie. The driver doing decisions of like getting out of the fires, and the teacher trying to calm down the kids. Now, of course, we got the moments where we get to know more of the backstory of these characters going to a tense situation, and again, it does feel like Speed. The boss going like cutting lines and things like that because of how crazy every single scene it's been. At this point, the movie just follows the story of how they're trying to survive and take the kids to safety, while the driver, Matthew McConaughey, doesn't know if his family is safe, while the teacher doesn't know if his kids make it safe as well, and while the fires continue to spread, and we get a lot of news about the fires. They also use footage of the real fires, and the fire department basically trying to fix the issue. Now, at some point in the movie, the fire department decides that they're not going to be able to control the fires, so they're like, now this is a rescue mission, let's try to save as many lives as we possibly can. The tension moment of the movie, spoilers ahead if you don't want to know the ending of this story, but the breaking point of this movie is that at some point they make it to a park, they're trying to get it out of there, but then when he goes to a hill, he sees that they're surrounded by fire. That was the tense moment. There were other tense moments where, for example, the teacher had to get out of the bus for a second to get some water. That was actually true, but she didn't get to an empty BR. She just got water from a stranger. There is also a point at the movie that dangerous people, Wisconsin, things like that, are trying to kidnap the bus. That didn't happen on real life, but in real life he did help out a few people that were kind of stranded. He did took some detours and things like that, but the actual main point of the movie, where they're just waiting for the fire to happen at a safety place that there is no fire, did not happen, but it did happen that he cut his own t-shirt to make them like masks with waters for the kid not to breathe through the smoke. The main worry of the t-shirt was what happened if the fire come to us, which ends up happening, and that's when the Speed situation comes to life. They need to get out of there. So the bus is taking 60 miles per hour and it's basically driving all the way to the fire. He's able to make it, leave the fire behind, and then he makes it to the safety point. The boss is now really impressed with him because he's a really action hero, and America Ferrera and him share a goodbye hug. America Ferrera reunites with her family, and then he's able to check that his mom make it out okay because of a neighbor, and the kid is now with his mom. Guys, again, it's an emotional ride. It's a pattern that puts, this is for the sake of the movie. He didn't know if his family was okay. In real life, he did know that his family was okay before taking this trip, and he made the hero decision of going and try to rescue these kids from the fire. America Ferrera, again, you might feel that her character was annoying, but she was supposed to be the teacher. She was supposed to be the strongest adult that needs to be calm at all times to make the kids feel safe, and she did. Her character was super well done. Matthew McConaughey was back. This movie has to be an amazing experience to watch at the big screen. Sadly, I wasn't able to experience it at the big screen, and I have to experience it on a streaming service, Apple TV. I also saw F1 from Apple. They're making really good movies with really great actors. And by the end, again, the movie felt like a fast-paced movie that you're interested of seeing what's going on and what's the take, what's the boss like, what's going to happen. And again, the name of the Lost Boss is because when they lose communication, they don't know where the boss is located at. They just know that he was able to pick up the kids. Guys, fast forward, and he gets back to his house, which has now burned to the ground, and the kid comes back. For what I read on one of the news, the kid is the actual kid from Matthew McConaughey. They share a hug, and then they gave us a little bit of information on how many houses they lost on those fires. It has been the deadliest of fires that has happened in California, even deadly than the one that just happened recently. They also put down that we lost 85 human lives, which is a lot for a fire. And they also let us know that it was the fault of the electricity companies, and they had to pay a lot of money on compensations. Now, the story behind this movie is also that the producer was Jamie Lee Curtis, and a lot of the money that she took from the movie was to help the family victims to finally get the memorial that they were trying to build. The memorial looks beautiful for the pictures that I was able to see on the interviews. And again, this feels like a movie that took on a super dark moment of the US California fires and they make it into a movie. I feel these kind of movies that they give a lot of information to people, and you never know what people are going to take from it. Maybe people are going to start being more safe, like do not smoke on wooden areas. Like, guys, literally the grass can be so hot at times that a fire can start. So take this movie like that. It's a great movie. America Ferrera says she grew up and Speed was one of her favorite movies. She literally had an ensemble of Sandra Bullock with like the hair. Again, guys, an amazing 10 out of 10 movie. The only regrets that I have is that I wasn't able to watch it at the big screen. And since this is an Apple exclusive, it might never get released on physical media. If a physical media release does happen down the line, I will gladly pick up a copy. But again, great 10 out of 10 movie, The Lost Boss, now streaming on Apple TV. So if you haven't watched it, give yourself the opportunity to fall in love with this story and to get to know a little bit of what happened on those fires. Just research a little bit of information. There should be a lot on the internet. But guys, for now, I would love to know in the comments if you saw this movie, what do you think about it? But that will be all for today's video. Like I always say, I hope you guys are enjoying with this new kind of content in the channel. If you are, please let me know in the comments, leave me a like, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can keep the family growing. And see you guys again soon on a new video.